ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः So today is the first day of the start of the study of the text called Kaivalya Upanishad or Kaivalya Upanishad. So we are starting this study with a prayer to Swami Dayananda Saraswati Maharaj and all our acharyas of the Arshavidya Parampara and all acharyas of other paramparas and our rishis and Saraswati, of course, Mata. We pray that all of them help us in this journey. So many of you have been my students for a while. Some of you are new, and among them, some of you I've seen the registration forms. Some of you said they don't have that much background about the Shastra. So I'll give a little bit of introduction. So as we study the Upanishad, you should become clearer about what is the Upanishad, why are we studying it, and what is the benefit of studying it rather, and overall lay of the land, as they say. Means what is Shastram? Bhagavad Gita means what? Upanishad means what? What about all the other texts written by Shankaracharya? Like this, you will get an idea. So let me introduce myself first. I was born in a village, a small village in the or near the city of Kumbakonam in Tamil Nadu. And then after 3 years or so, went to Hyderabad. Father went to Hyderabad. And so I grew up there, essentially did my schooling there, and then did my college in Chennai, after which I got my master's and PhD in the US in the area of chemical engineering. So I'm a chemical engineer by profession. And then started working in a company, initially near Chicago, then in Houston. And in 1996, I had a good friend who wanted me to visit a place called Arshavidya Gurukulam in In the US, there is in Pennsylvania state, there is an ashram. Because we were having all these debates and discussions about Atma and Bhagavan, Ishvara, God, and things like that. Then after some time, he said you should go there. So I didn't have any background. Had never been to any ashram. I had never even been to Ramakrishna mission or Chinmaya mission or anything like that. No missions were there. I was on a mission on myself, and so therefore I didn't go into any mission. So I said, "What is this? What am I going to get out of going there?" And Swamiji and all, I had no exposure to any sannyasis, and so I ended up in this ashram in '96 Christmas camp. They said Christmas camp, and so Christmas camp. Okay, all right. So I went there, and and then Swamiji was just landing in New York. 8 p.m. camp was supposed to start, and this ashram was 2.5 hours from New York. And so they said if Swamiji has landed, he's coming by car. And so 8 o'clock p.m. everybody is assembled, and he said, "No, he's coming. He'll be here in 5 minutes, 10 minutes." And so Swamiji came to the ashram, got off the car, and he entered the hall, lecture hall. And then he came straight and sat in the seat, and I was sitting. Everybody was sitting on the sitting next to, I mean, on the floor, obviously, and I was sitting very close to the chair. It was a satsang-like thing, just informal. I was sitting right next to him. At his feet, I was sitting. I have no idea, nothing, zero idea about what's going to happen. The camp was Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. I had no idea what Upanishad is. Bhagavad Gita itself, no idea. Where is the question of Upanishad? And so I sat there. And he sat down, Swamiji sat down, everybody was there behind me, all the others were there. And we were all sitting. And so Swamiji had not started, nothing happened. He was just looking at everybody. And I looked at Swamiji like this because I'm sitting down. So I looked at him like this and said, "Swamiji, you don't have jet lag?" This is what I asked him. And then Swamiji took a moment. And then he looked down like this at me and he said, "I don't have time for jet lag." This is what he said. And believe me, I did not understand that statement then. It would take me some time to understand that statement. But this is what he said. And anyway, that camp, that week was, when you talked about Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. But one thing happened. Everything Swamiji was saying, I was able to follow. Every word, every sentence that he's talked about. What are the pursuits of a human being? Everything I understood. And I started buying books. I went to the bookstore. By the end of the week, I have to go back to Chicago. Pennsylvania I drove for some 600 miles, 700 miles, something like that. So I don't know when I'm going to come back. So I purchased books. The question is what books you will buy. Subject is unknown. Nothing Upanishad is not known. Bhagavad Gita is not. Nothing is known. And so I went to the bookstore and said, any text that had the word Atma in it, please give me. And Atma, is it it? Is that what you want? Okay, there is a text by Shankara called Atma Bodha. Do you want Atma Bodha? Yes, I want the text. And I want Swamiji's talks on the text, not just the textbook. And so those days, it was all audio cassettes, not MP3 and all, no CD and all, nothing like that. Audio cassette. So by the time I came out of the bookstore, I had many boxes piled up. I told him, I'll get my car here. And then because too many boxes there, every box has some. They're called audio books. Literally, they are books, and you open it up like this. Then you have all these grooves where these audio cassettes can be placed like this. Like this box. Many boxes were there, and that my car, the trunk of the car. Here they call it dicky. There they call it trunk. Trunk was filled up, and then back row there is a lot of space. because car has space. You can use it very creatively. So all that area completely filled up, and that's how my journey started. Anyway, that is just what felt like recalling it. And so then after that, Houston and all that, and we started classes in 2000, 2001, and many of my friends are here, and we studied and we had a good time, and we taught children. And then in 2015, after 30 years of being in the US, I decided to come back to India. Coimbatore is where I live. My parents are here, and my father is here now. Mother passed away recently. And so I came here primarily to be with them, take care of them. And but after I came here, I was always interested in attending the long-term course in the Gurukulam. You know what happened? When Swamiji was in Chinmaya Mission, Swami Dayananda Saraswati, he started what is called a 3-year course, 4-year course, a long-term course for people who are really want to study, who have finished all their duties. And so that's I wanted to attend that course. I've been telling Swamiji since 2000, Swamiji, I want to attend your course. Swamiji said, no, no, you're doing good work in Houston. You please continue. Just use the MP3 and all. Those days, by then MP3 had come, I think. So he said MP3. And so I said, oh, okay, that means I'm not ready for it. That is the meaning of it. Or I have duties, whatever. So anyway, I came here, a course was going on, and I just went to the ashram, and one thing led to another. And the acharya there was a friend of mine who came to the ashram on the same day as I came to the ashram for the first time. We sat next to each other studying this Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. He is a sannyasi there in this ashram. I knew him before itself. So he said, Jaikumar, if you've returned and if you have nothing else to do, you're welcome to join the course. Swamiji, 1 year, 1.5 years over, gone. And no, no, you come, you'll pick it up. So I came back home. I asked my parents, this is what happened in the ashram tonight, this evening, just some time ago. And my parents said, yeah, sure, go. If not now, when? This is what they said. I didn't expect that. And so I packed my bags that night. Next morning, 5:30, I took a taxi and went off to the ashram. And so that was that. And 2 years later, course was over. Anyway, what we do in the ashram is we study all these texts. What are the texts? It's called Prasthanatrayi. Prasthanatrayi means what? Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and Brahma Sutram. These are the main texts when one wants to study Vedanta. These must be studied. Upanishads means 10 Upanishads, Dashopanishad, because these are the 10 Upanishads which have been commented upon by Adi Shankaracharya, and occasionally other Upanishads also which are not commented upon, like Kaivalya Upanishad, the Upanishad we are going to study, not commented by Shankaracharya. And so after that, Swamiji asked me to start teaching. So 2018 onwards, with prayers, we started. And many of you had joined me at that time, and we had Sanskrit classes. And this Tattvabodha, an introductory text called Tattvabodha. Anyway, that is just my background. So after the class, generally we stay back. Those who can stay back, please do. And any of you willing to introduce yourselves, please do. And that way we can get to know each other. So, coincidentally, about uh, a month and a half ago, we started a course called Mundaka Upanishad, and which Adi Shankara's Bhashyam commentary. That's what we study. And this Kaivalya also belongs to the same Veda called Atharvana Veda. This is a coincidence. And so many of you said, I know if Advaita Vedanta is, Brahman is all there is, and I am that Brahman, and therefore I want to study Upanishad. So there is some awareness as to what it is we are studying. Or Shastram is sacred and I want to know the Shastram. After all, I'm a Sanatana Dharmi. And so, yeah, those are all good reasons to study the Upanishad. But what problem does it really solve? See, whatever we do today is, they say that one of the things, the only thing you can't get today is time. You can buy everything today, but time is the only thing you can't get enough of. Enough of. They say there is not enough time unless you are serving it. There is not enough time unless you're serving it. Okay, you don't know what I mean. It's a joke, and the joke is serving time means being in jail. Ityarthaha, being in jail, and so there is never enough time. There's never enough time. Uh, so, so therefore, the question is, why am I spending 1 hour here? Okay, that question must be there, and we must be clear about it. And sometimes it takes a while to get all this clarity. So that also we will study as part of learning the mantras, meaning of the mantras. So the process is we'll read the mantra and then I will explain to you how what is that mantra. And in that process, there will be some background I will have to give you because some words are loaded words. We are not a translation sampradaya. We are an explanation and clarity gaining sampradaya. Okay. You learn to chant and all that. Everything is part of it. So the Upanishad solves a problem that no other subject solves. Okay? No other subject. It's what all along we've been studying, we've got degrees, we've worked, and we're all experts in many things. And we know that values govern our lives. A person who has no values, we know such a life is going to be a tough life. Regrets, guilt, hurt, all kinds of, the head is filled with all kinds of problems. That much we know. But then, even after values, still there is something lacking. Still something is there. Some emptiness is there. What is this emptiness? Why this emptiness comes? So, sometimes it's good to compare ourselves to animals. In one of the Gita classes in Houston, one of my friends asked me in the classes, wouldn't it be better to have been born as an animal? Or wouldn't it be better to be born as a stone? Stone. Stone means better than animal, you know. At least animal also has feelings, pain and all that. But stone, no pain, nothing. So this question comes. You know why it comes? Because we have seen animals. Animals are also living beings. We are also living beings. But then animals don't seem to experience sorrow like we do. Like we do. Okay. A zoologist might say, no, animals feel pain, they also have sorrow, etc. But not like we do. Not like we humans do. You can't find a depressed dog. Can you find a depressed dog? Can't find. There are there are there are poor people who seem to be quite contented and happy. They also want money, no doubt. To have a little cash will be good, but they seem to be happy. And there are billionaires who seem to be unhappy, depressed. How? If how is this possible even? Well, it's possible because what I think makes me happy really does not make me happy. Okay. Yes, it makes me happy for some time, but this happiness doesn't seem to last. There are too many factors involved in happiness, and somehow this $1 billion can make me buy stuff. The truth is, nothing can make me buy like money. But don't equate that comfort and those things, those Aishwaryam that I can have in my house with the money. Don't equate it to happiness. long as I do that, at least I'll be searching for happiness. Otherwise, I think I'm going to be happy with the money I have. That is why you have all these extremes. You look at the life of a deer. Deer in the Serengeti. Okay, and you should imagine all these things. Planet. What is it? Animal Planet and all you've seen, National Geographic and all. So, and this deer, they have what is called. Well, they are all coming. They're all there now. It's in the middle of the day. It's hot. It's hot in Africa and in the Serengeti. And suddenly somehow they've all come in thousands. And you wonder what is going on here. Deer can be running anywhere, but they are in thousands. They have accumulated. It's as though they've come to a marriage party. And what is going on? Hey, this is the season of giving birth, and all the deer are there. All pregnant deer are there. Now, look at this. Not far away from the deer, there are lions and tigers and hyenas, okay, cheetahs, what have you. They're all there. They're all sharing the same habitat, okay. And this deer comes here, and it's very odd for so many deer to accumulate like this. But then they're having babies, one after the other. They're having babies. This deer is no match for the lion, no match for the lion, and but then they have what's called this defense mechanisms. The first defense mechanism is crowd, numbers. So thousands, tens of thousands, number is so huge. Even the lion is a little scared to approach this group. Correct? Even though the 10,000 deer is no match for the lion. All the lion has to do is charge. It will easily get prey. It will easily get food. But psychologically, the lion is thinking, oh my God, what do I do? There seems to be some block, mental block. That is the first line of defense. Second line of defense, because the deer is going to be here for some time, they can't run away. They're giving birth. Second line of defense, middle of the day they come. Not when it is cool. It's super hot. Super hot. You can see the deer palpitating. Okay. And the heart is beating so that it gets rid of the heat. And it's super hot. And the lion, that now is the time the lion is not in a mood to hunt. Okay, 12 noon, 1 in the afternoon, 2 in the afternoon, no chance. That is the only time a lion will not hunt. Nobody, no animal will hunt. And so that's it. Number two, defense. Number three. Okay. Number three. Look at this. The baby is born. Baby is born. It drops from the mother's back, just drops. And then all the skin and all that is there. The fluids are all there, and the fluids are going to wake up the lion. Let the lion sleep, but this odor travels, and then it will wake up the lion. So immediately, what the deer does is lick the baby. Mother licks the baby, licks from top to bottom, kata 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 kata, just super fast. Licks. Why does it lick? So that that odor is removed from the body. Okay, this is another. It knows somehow. This is what I should do. Another defense mechanism. Next, what happens is another stunning thing. The mother is beginning to kick the baby. Kick. Imagine in the hospital maternity ward, the baby is born and the father is kicking the baby. Human baby, I mean. Okay. No. No parent kicks the human baby. Nurse doesn't kick the human baby. They may tap the baby if the baby is not breathing or not crying or something. That's different. Here I'm talking about kicking, literally pushing the baby. What is this? The mother is saying, get up, get up, get up, get up. This baby deer has only 10 minutes. Only 10 minutes by which time it has to get up. That's it. Within 10 minutes, it has to get up. Get up and stand on its 4 feet. That's all the time it has. Okay. Why? Because this is not a picnic. This is not a marriage party. This is not some kind of a concert where you can just sit and just keep on watching the fun. This is not a fun area at all. 10 minutes. Then the baby deer is somehow trying to get up, falling down, getting up, falling down. And then finally it gets up and then further kick karo, start walking, start walking. The baby deer has only 10 more minutes to learn to walk properly. Walk steadily, steadily walking, learns to walk. And then now is the next last portion of this training. It has only 10 more minutes to learn to run. It has to run because now everybody is going to leave. Everybody is not just going to leave, they are going to, the animals are going to chase them. They have to leave. So this baby deer has to run for its life within 30 minutes. This is the life of a deer. This is the life of a deer. So when you look at all these things, you wonder how can somebody create life like this? How can there be so much disparity, etc.? These kind of ideas can come. But I'll tell you one thing: the deer doesn't complain. Why is my life like this? Why did God create me like this? What a torture it is. How can you kick me after as soon as I'm born? Then there is sibling rivalry and then anger with parents. You kick me when you were born, and you people are all ruthless people. And I want to form an association called, I don't know what, some name you have to come up with. So for emotional growth, we need some association. So we have to form all those things. So for emotional development, American Association of Emotional Development, something like that. Because PhD, psychology, this, that, and all, that's okay. Let psychology be there. There are people who want to study psychology, let them study. But we need a group. We have to share our sorrows. And so we have formed this group. There's no such association among dear. Nothing. Nothing is there. There is no graduation. There is no education. There are many, many parents. Somebody called me the other day. I can't come because my son has to apply for college. He's now in the 12th grade. And amount of stress that is there is too much. I don't know. He's not working properly. He doesn't seem to take. Most common complaint of parents are here. He is not taking it serious. As though the parent, when they were like him, took it very seriously. Look at this. My son doesn't take it seriously. What did you do? You also gave a lot of stress to your parents. That karma has to come back. No? Is come back or not? People forget that conveniently. Anyway, I don't talk like this to parents. This is only in the class I'm talking. So, stress. And my son is like that. My daughter is like that. They don't have that kind of problems. There is no education. There is no hala balu at all. There's no ado at all. It just begins to lead its life. Then it becomes an adult, has babies. The parent doesn't complain. Oh, my son is gone. And they never called me back for a long time. No such thing. No such that emptiness. Emptiness. See, emptiness. Human beings become empty after some time because all these unfulfilled expectations are just mounting every day. I'm supposed to be, after so many years, I've become mature and I've understood life and I begin to enjoy life rather than have more and more expectation and suffer every day. No, we end up suffering also. Anyway, so this deer's life, and after that, the deer is growing up and the parents are there. And then after that, the deer becomes independent and has its own children. And then life goes on. Life goes on. And the deer passes away. And there is no Antyeshti Kriya, last rites, 10th day, 13th day, 27th day, 45th day. This is all not there at all. No day, nothing. Deer is gone, and maybe somebody, those who are around the deer will will, they wag the tail like this. They look at the deer, and then, I don't know, they must be gifted with some capacity to just move on. Move on. In front of their eyes, the vultures will come and just peck at the dead deer. No crying, no wailing, no calling the cops, nothing. Everything. No doctor, no multi specialty hospitals, no emergency ward, nothing. So, this is the life of animals. And would it be nice if we were born as animals? Don't say it too soon. Just hang on to that question. There is a reason why human birth is so important. Durlabam Trayame Vaitat. We're going to study in the Viveka Chudam course. Durlabam. So this Manushya that Janma is Durlabam. Like that, Shankaracharya will say that. And so, there are no emotional problems also. Deer is not there. The Chihuahua. Chihuahua is a small dog. It's a very small dog. Very small. Short, small. And the Chihuahua looks at the another dog, big dog. The neighbor has a big dog, and they're walking the dog. And that dog is a Doberman, and big, and then walking and ferocious. The Chihuahua does not feel jealous of that dog. I wish I were like that dog. No, no jealousy, no such problems also. Emotional problems are not there. Chihuahua will simply come running home, come inside, and then watch the Doberman. Neither is a Chihuahua jealous of its own other friends, Chihuahuas. And that guy's ear is beautiful. That guy's hairdo is so good. Hairdo. I wish my guy is just is sitting in front of the computer all the time. He doesn't pay attention to me at all. What a house I'm in. No, no such thought at all. No such emotions at all. He doesn't give me good food and all that. No, nothing like that. So they don't have any emotional problems. Human being is not like that. Okay. And so the question begs, what are we seeking? We are seeking something, and everybody is seeking something. Animals also seem to seek at least, but very basic seeking is there. And human beings, a lot more evolved, and they seem to have all these problems. There is no dog, street dog. They say dog's life. Dog's life. Why they say dog's life? Because the street dog, they're referring to the street dog, and no shelter, nothing, eating whatever comes, and rain, shine, whatever, just hanging around. In fact, in India, passers by, we all know the dogs. The same dog is there all throughout. And so, but it's a dog's life. They say dog's life. But dog's life means miserable, unhappy life for the human being. But for the dog is not an unhappy dog. For it is referring to our life, which is a dog's life, and that's miserable and unhappy. But dog is not miserable. Dog is leading its own life. The guy who has the dog's life can commit suicide, but the dog which is having a dog's life does not commit suicide. No animal commits suicide. No animal is depressed. Even though that is the guy who's suffering, you can see the dogs are limping. One dog is hurt. The other day I saw and injured the leg, limping, but it's leading its life. Okay. And so this problem is unique to human beings, the emotional problems that come. So, if one word, if you want to say, if you ask people, what is it that you want? We can at least say, I may not know what I want, but I know I do not want sorrow. Because happiness, if I say, then what kind of happiness do you want? Do you want to be just happy? Do you want to be happier? Or do you want to be elated? What kind of happiness you want? No, I don't mind any of these things. But as long as I am not unhappy, I'm fine. All right, that much we can agree on. Okay. And that's probably why Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna starts his first word that he utters is called Shoka. Ashocyan Anvashochastvam. Hey Arjuna, you've been talking a lot. First chapter is all Arjuna talking. And so you're talking like a wise person. You analyze the situation, but you're grieving for things that wise people do not grieve on or grieve over. Ashocyan Anvashochastvam Prajnavadamscha Bhashase Gatasuna Gatasunsta Nanushocanti Panditaha. Panditaha na Anushocanti. No, they don't grieve. Over what? Gatasun, Agatasun. Krishna divides the whole world of people into two categories. Gatasun, people who are dead, and people who are in the process of dying. It's not a complimentary thing. Anyway, that's what he says. So, what are we seeking? So, we, famously, Purusharthas, all of you know this. And if you don't, good to recap. Artha, Kama, Dharma, and Moksha. Purushartha. Purushaihi Artyate, universally sought after by people all over the world, not just Sanatana Dharmis, Hindus, and all over the world. What is Artha? Artha is security. Minimum security is needed. And security means family and wealth. A shelter above the head is security. Critical. Critical. Once I have security, then I can go after what is called kama, pleasure. Pleasure. The penniless guy on the street cannot even think of going to an ice cream parlor. Forget about having ice cream. Cannot even think of. And that person is spending time outside restaurants and other places where people are having food. He wants to fill up his stomach. Somehow he seems to know, I think this ice cream business is not good. I need proper food. So he can't even think of all these pleasures. No chance. For him, an idea of joy is if I can fill up my stomach today. And so I told you, once I was there in the street, I was buying some flowers or fruits or something, and somebody came and he was in tears and he seemed like a very not like a homeless person, but he looked at it was all the clouds were darkening, and he said, "Yeah, I don't know. It's now getting dark. It's going to rain. I don't know if I'll get food today." Like that, he was pleading at with. Now tell me, this is how life is. No dog begs another dog. They don't have that kind of problem. It seems they're not worried about the future, but we are not only worried about today. We keep worrying about the past also, even though it's gone, and then future is waiting, and we have to spend a lot of time thinking about the future. So this guy's head is a complex head. So obviously, it's not an ordinary thing. And so artha is there, kama, pleasure, and then once security is there, I can pursue kama. Any pleasure seeking, any object of source of pleasure is kama. Once I'm getting artha and kama and I'm satisfied, then dharma becomes very important. Dharma is commonly understood as righteousness, doing the right thing, earning money the right way is dharma. But then dharma is also punyam. There is something called punyam. Punyam is once I have secured my life here, now I want to secure my future life. Future life. Future life means इसके बाद क्या होगा? Shastram says another life is there, and some people say no, I don't want another life. But the idea is the guy is getting ready for the next, and getting ready for the next means what should I do? All right, serve the family properly, be truthful in what you do, and if possible, go out and serve society. You'll get a lot of punyam. That punyam becomes your cash asset for your next janma. Okay. There is a shloka, I don't remember what it is. It says when I in the last day I have to leave all my possessions at home. Hey, wait a minute, that's so unfair. The bank account has my name in it. My assets all have my name in it. Real estate has my name in it. Telling me I have to leave all this here? Correct. You have to leave all that here. And then that's why they say you better write a will if you want your money to be useful to somebody. Then, then what about the people I love? They will come maximum. They will come till that place. I'm getting burnt maximum. And then they're all so close. Everything right. Somebody should say no. I will come along with you and jump into the fire. No, 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 no. I'm close to you, but I don't want to be that close to you. I'm not that close. I love you. I'm crying. It's a loss. But then nobody wants to come with me also. So therefore, I have to go alone. This is the irony. All these are ironies. And so, therefore, punyam dharma is needed to secure my place in the future. Shastram talks a lot about it, and I believe in what the Vedas says, and therefore, punyam also I have to get. Artha kama dharma. Beyond this, I don't know anything. Nothing is there. नोबेल प्राइज विनर पूछो उसको मोक्षा के बारे में पूछो no he is a genius all right he's of course an accomplished person no doubt about that but he also can't go beyond punyam dharma swarga etc he can't go and so then comes the fourth purushartha called kshaha and moksha is not hard to appreciate because over time we begin to appreciate that this artha is needed all right, but it doesn't give me fulfillment. I can't sit and say, am I really contented or not? If I ask, the money doesn't seem to fit that bill. It can give me any kinds of comforts. Comforts, money is of course needed, but happiness, joy, permanent fulfillment to chodo. Everything is anityam. Artha is anityam, kama is anityam. And what about dharma? Punyam. Is it anityam or nityam? Means permanent or temporary? Temporal, subject to time. You ask, hey, come on. Punyam, who gained, whose punyam it is? It is my punyam. How did you get your punyam? I got punyam because I did a lot of outreach. I help people, I help my family, I help the extended family, I help my community. Good. You did a lot of work only. So your work only created punyam. Is your work finite or infinite? Hey, it's finite only. Okay, if it's finite, it's a product of a finite thing. So punyam also is something that has to be used like cash, and therefore it is no different than cash. It's not present cash, it is future cash. Cash to be used only in the future without your knowledge. Present cash, I can use it with my knowledge, deliberately, willfully, I can use it. But this punyam cash is not in my hands, but it will help me in situations. It will help me create good situations. Like a situation like this where I ended up in the ashram. It's all pure punyam. Imagine going to a place without knowing absolutely anything about the place. It only punyam pushes you towards that. And so many people say that's how it is. I don't know. I ended up like this and I started studying the Shastra. Punyam, pure punyam, 100%. And so punyam is needed. I survived an accident. Really, now I'm reminded of a place, of the thing that happened so many years ago. 1985, 86, something like that. And no, maybe 83 or something. And these people, my classmates in Hyderabad school, I, I come back from college for summer vacation to home. And these guys call us all, let's all meet. Then one of our classmates was in the army, went to the army. And he had also come for a couple of weeks or a week or something. These army people, they get some goodies. Okay, they get some goodies. And my friend said we're going to meet. Ajay has come. Very nice man. And Ajay has come. And so we went to see Ajay in his quarters. Okay. I mean, none of them were married at that time, and so he's in there. So since he's got all these dark colored bottles and yellow colored bottles and this and that. So in a bar, if you say, I can understand. But ye kya hai re, Ajay? So why are you asking? You taste and you tell me. All my friends are just going after it. And I said, no, no, I don't need all this. Already I'm high. If I drink now, then I go off somewhere and you'll suffer without me. And so he's like, carriage, eh? He's an army, literally. His voice is like that only. Carriage, eh? पिता नहीं हाँ क्या सोच रहा है तू you think you're a big man or what? I still remember those words. They're still echoing in my head. And somehow I think I must have kept people in good humor or something, whatever. And then what happened? We are going back home, and the guy in whose motorcycle I came, this guy is drunk. I'm sitting on the back seat of this driver, and he's riding. And there is an intersection. This is the main road, and this is the side road. Intersection has come. You're supposed to stop there. This guy just zooms through it. And then there is a truck coming from the other side, and the truck just goes past my ear like this. That day must have been the last day, really speak. Really speak. There's no reason. There's no excuse anybody had. Tell me what is it? What is working? Your punya was at work, I think. I can't give any other explanation. So like this, people give stories. This is what happened. Just hairline, only distance was one hair width. You know. So therefore, punyam is important. Punyam is very important in our culture. Punyam is so important, and other culture also it may be there. It's different forms it may be there. So therefore, but then punyam also is limited, and so what is that? Is there something else beyond this? Okay. Then only the Shastra comes into the picture, Vedas comes into the picture. Vedas talks about moksha. Nobody teaches moksha in colleges or schools. Much dhatu, much to free, to liberate. Moksha. Muchyate jantur janma samsara bandhanat vimuchyate tasmai. So all this Vishnu Sahasranama, much, that same much is there, moksha. So what is moksha? This is what we are going to study in the Upanishad. And so the source The source of this idea of moksha is Veda. Bhagavad Gita is not part of the Veda, but what Krishna teaches is the message that is there in the Veda. Therefore, for us, Bhagavad Gita is as good as the Veda. Panchamo Vedaha. Then Shankaracharya has written commentaries on Upanishads, and therefore and he is the Sadashiva Samarambam, Shankaracharya Madhyamam. He becomes an important link for us, who unlocked the Upanishads for us. Okay, now I introduced words. Veda I introduced, then Upanishad also I said. So I have to tell you, what is this Veda and Upanishad? Well, broadly, Veda is classified based on content into two aspects. One is called Karma Kanda. Part one is Karma Kanda. Part two is Jnana Kanda. Karma, Jnana, two big things are there. Karma means what? Hey, this Artha, Kama, and Dharma we talked about falls in the category of Karma. Why? Because only by doing I can gain Artha. Only by doing something I can gain Kama. Only by doing something right I can gain Dharma. That also is doing only, a result of doing. So you can actually say what I do is called karma. Dharma, artha, and kama are all karma phalam. Dharma phalam, because I want security. Security is a phalam. I don't have security now. I need to get security. So it's a phalam. It's a result that I seek and I get. And so that karma kanda also talks about more and more means, more and more ways of achieving that security. Okay. And when you buy a house and you go and you start the day, you don't simply enter the house just like that. You just, everything is out, and you have to do a homa. Griha pravesham it is called. It's very common in our country. And Griha Pravesham means what? It's not simply cutting the ribbon. It's a very involved process. Very involved process. That very involved process is comes from the Veda. Okay. And so whether it is a Navagraha Homa or all type Ganapati Homa, etc., it's all done. Why do you have to do it? Hey, because I'm entering this house, and may this house help all of us, all family members. May this house help the young people study properly. This becomes a place where they're going to study. May they grow up, let them enjoy their lives, and let them be happy. Let this house make us all happy. Let this house make this a home. What a difference between a house and a home. House is just a structure. Home is something one has to work hard to make. And so that's the prayer there. So Karma Kanda has all these goodies for us. Anything you want, there is something in there. And even people who don't have children, not to worry. You have Shraddha in the Veda. The Veda talks about Putra Kameshti Yaga. Even doctors can't help you. Okay, then there is Putra Kameshti. Sri Rama was born of a Putra Kameshti Yaga. And so that is Veda. Sri Rama was born in a Vedic family. Sri Rama is not the author of the Vedas. Okay, so that's how old it is. Veda. All right. Karma Kanda. Huh? Then there is something called Jnana Kanda. Huh? Because this is all Dharma, Artha, and Kama category. And these things can give you comforts, it can give you means to sustain your life and be relatively happy. Relatively happy. No guarantee also. No guarantees. Because too many factors are involved in happiness. Because there are people who have dog's life also, you know. And so that means this is not working out. Therefore, then what will work out if you say then there is something called moksha, and that moksha is taught by what is called Vedanta. Vedanta does not talk about dharma. Vedanta does not talk about artha. Vedanta does not talk about kama. Okay. Vedanta is not interested. Vedanta says, I assume that you have analyzed your pursuits, dharma, artha, and kama. परीक्ष लोकान कर्मचिता निर्वेदमायात ब्राह्मणः. ए परीक्षा किया आपने, परीक्षा किया, इसका assumption है. We are going to assume that you have examined all your life experiences and you have understood that all these things can only give you limited results. Then if you say, no, I'm not happy with this, I need to know what is the in thing. Is there something that is there? They also say, hey, it is the human birth that can understand what moksha is. Do not waste this human life. That also I've heard. Therefore, if I say that, yeah, I really want to know what it is, then I have to approach Vedanta. Vedanam Antaha. It is positionally in the Veda also, it comes towards the end of each Veda. Positionally. Some exceptions are there, but positionally, that's why Vedanam Antaha. The end portion, the concluding portion of the Veda. Okay. And also some people say that, okay, because it's the last pursuit you and I will ever have, a human being will ever have, therefore Antaha. Okay. And that's called Jnana Kanda. So the Upanishad, the other name for Vedanta is Upanishad. When it comes to the Veda, it's called Upanishad. Vedanto Nama Upanishad Pramanam. Like that, there is a statement in one of them. texts. Vedanto Nama Upanishad Pramanam means what? Vedanta means that Pramanam called Upanishad. Now I introduced a word called Pramanam. So it's my responsibility now to tell you what Pramanam means. I can't take it for granted. So that's a traditional teaching. What I understood by all these years of studying is that teaching, the teacher is 100% alert and in uttering words, and they make sure words are not uttered just to impress. Impressing. We can all talk. I can say a lot of Sanskrit words and paint a picture that I am somehow a scholar of Sanskrit. No, that is not teaching. This painting a picture of showing that you're great and all is out the door. Tradition does not accept all this. It doesn't value all these things. Amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, kshanti, rajyavam, Krishna has said that. Manitvam is of no use. You can accomplish whatever you want, but trying to show off, mm-mm. This is too sacred a pursuit where the teacher has to be alert, can't say words without explaining it. And even with all the care, love and care, still some things are left out. That is why satsang is there. After class, there is satsang. And so people can say, you said this, what do you mean by that? That's it. That is the purpose of the satsang. Anyway, so we spent an hour here. I'm introducing the problem here. And that Upanishad comes under this category of Vedanta. Okay. And this Veda is, if you say, who authored this Veda? Nobody authored this Veda. It's authorless. And that's why authored things are called Paurusheya. Purusha means human being. Paurusheya means product of a human mind, product of a human being. This Veda is not a product of a human being. Therefore, it's called Paurusheyam. The Shastram is called what? Apaurusheyam. Then Shastram, I introduced a word. What is Shastram? Shashanatrayate iti Shastram. Shasanam means commanding, teaching. Okay, because Veda has something to tell us, and it commands us. It's in a commanding position because I don't know, Veda knows. Therefore, it is in a commanding position. By being in a commanding position, teaching us what I really know, it protects me. Trayate, shasanat trayate iti shastram. Pramanam, pramakaranam, pramanam. Prama is knowledge, vidya. Pramakaranam, that which gives me knowledge is called pramanam. We'll talk more about it in the next session. They're all words, which all, in Sanskrit, all these words are all pregnant with meaning. Pregnant with meaning. It just, the word itself reveals what it is. It is like a guest coming, but the guest is automatically telling you who the guest is. You don't know the guest, but somehow you know this or the background of the guest. That's how these words are. Anyway, so that's how we get into the Vedas. That's how we get into the Upanishad. And this Kaivalya Upanishad is there. It's part of the Atharvana Veda. And we'll continue this discussion. And we'll start the mantra in the next class. First mantra. Okay. Any questions? Those of you who can stay back, please do. Om Apadamapahārtaram Dātāram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Prithvi Sasyashalini Deshoyam Shobharahitah Brahmanas Santu Nirbhayaah Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद.